Michael, what just happened? Annapurna Interactive's entire workforce has resigned. Unheard of.
Yeah.
Dude, unheard of. Jordan Miller over at VGC. The entire workforce of Annapurna Interactive, the video game publishing division of Annapurna Studio, has resigned. As first reported by Bloomberg, Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary and his team resigned following the dispute with the group's owner, Megan Ellison. Following the discussion to spin the video game publishing arm out into an independent entity, of which Ellison pulled out, 24 members of staff resigned from the company. Quote, all 25 members of Annapurna Interactive team collectively resigned, end quote, Gary said in a joint statement. Quote, this was one of the hardest decisions we have ever had to make, and we did not take this action lightly, end quote. Annapurna Interactive is known for critically acclaimed games from small teams such as Outer Wilds, Stray, and Cocoon. As reported by GamesIndustry.biz, Annapurna has been looking to more closely integrate games with its TV and film divisions and has rehired co-founder Hector Sanchez from Epic Games as president of Interactive and New Media. Quote, our top priority is continuing to support our developer and publishing partners during this transition, end quote, Ellison said in a statement to Bloomberg News. Quote, we're committed to not only existing slate of games, but also expanding our presence in the interactive space as we continue to look for opportunities to take a more integrated approach to linear and interactive storytelling across film and TV, gaming, and theater, end quote. A spokesperson told Bloomberg that all existing Annapurna projects will continue under the brand. Remedy recently announced that Annapurna Pictures will be co-financing Control 2 and bringing Remedy IP to TV and movies. Explaining the deal, communications director Thomas Paw said, quote, above all, it means Remedy is able to make Control 2 exactly the game we want it to be, while we now also have an incredible partner to extend our IPs to other mediums, end quote. Dude, they all bailed out.
Yeah.
What happened? Like, something internally, obviously, like, we need the Jason Schreier to kind of go into the weeds and find out, like, what went down. That it just all of a sudden 25 people just went, we're out. Like, dude, something is wrong here. Something is fishy. We're not getting, obviously, the full details. I'm really curious if we ever will. But this is huge because Annapurna is, dude, man, these are great games. Outer Wilds, Stray, Cocoon. Like, I always held Annapurna up at a high level because you know something comes out of Annapurna is very unique and very cool and something you should keep your eye on. Here we go. All of a sudden, 25 people just gone. Dude, I'm so confused.
Yeah, I maybe 2-3 years from now, once the dust is settled, we might get like a full story. Finally, an employee might come out and say something is kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting time. I would have to assume some, if not all of it, if not a bulk of it, is this whole Remedy co-financing Control 2, right? Like, that is the latest news. I mean, we talked about that on the show. You were hyped for it. Control was a game that you had loved. I had seen it from a distance, and I was like, okay, this is going to be good. I'll take the sequel. So yeah, I have to assume it's something along those lines, right? Because that is the latest news with the studio. There's not really been a whole lot going on. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy because, I mean, usually we're talking about, okay, people are getting laid off, right? This isn't even, now this is an entire division saying, we do not want to work here anymore. Goodbye. You have to do something crazy, or several things, I really have to say crazy, for 25 people to willingly say, we do not want to be here. Adios. So if this story comes out, I feel like it's going to be absolutely crazy. It probably is going to top the Bungie story if it comes out this year for like craziest workforce related gaming news of 2024. So I hope we get it. I want to know what happened, but this is, wow, when we saw this yesterday, everyone was kind of going, what's going to happen next? I'm curious what this means for Control 2, right? Annapurna and Remedy have come out and said, we're still going to make it. At that point, how much of the original Control, besides maybe like the character, is really going to be carried over? Curious to see how that goes too, but this was absolutely wild news to come out at the end of the week.
Yeah, no, this is baffling to me, right? Like, to lose 25 people from Annapurna, what does that mean for Remedy and Control, and then the television side of it too, right? I think that's the part that they didn't want to be a part of.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see a lot of that transition now go from games into television into film, and dude, that brings on a whole other workload. And I wonder if that staff is like, yo, we're so busy right now with all the studios we're working with, don't want to get into television. I don't want to get into films. So maybe they needed to pull up and spin up a whole other division so that when they do talk to Remedy, they go, hey, yeah, you can work with this team. They're the game division. But when it comes to your TV and film side, this is the part of Annapurna that you're going to be working with, right? They maybe didn't have enough workforce, and Annapurna wasn't a very big place to be in the first place. So the fact that now that you just lost 25 members, dude, really curious to see what the future looks like.